how to propagate the agenda for Huntingdonshire speakers meetings. You'll have to excuse the unusual pauses, but one, my computer is slow, and two, so is my brain. And since I'm doing this off the cuff, we'll have to go with the slowness. What are we trying to achieve? Well, if we look at the agenda for Huntingdonshire speakers, it looks something like this. This is the website that we use to sign up for roles. If we look at how we want the agenda to appear, it's very different. Here is an example of that in a spreadsheet that I've got open. And you can see the agendas on there and how they're laid out. It looks very different to this screen that we've got on the website. To get this information onto this spreadsheet, you could type it in manually, but what I've done is created an automated system that will do this for you. What I'd like to do is explain to you how that's used. The concepts are fairly simple. We have an Excel spreadsheet. On the Excel spreadsheet, it has a number of different worksheets which you can access from the bottom. There we are, the different worksheets. The Excel spreadsheet itself has some programs built into it called macros. And when we run the spreadsheet for the first time, it will actually ask us if we want to enable those macros. What I'm going to show you is how to get the information from the website into this spreadsheet. And I'm going to show you it in the simplest way that I can. While you're going through the process, if at any time you wanted to stop and actually check to see the progress, you can click on these worksheets and it's absolutely fine. So for example, once you've got the information filled in on this Fill Me In worksheet, if you want to see what the agenda is actually going to look like, you can go to Print Me and it will show you. That's fine, you can look at that. Equally, if you're on this worksheet and you think some of that information is wrong and needs correcting, just simply type in what you want to, and that's absolutely fine as well. You can see that change reflected here. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to close this spreadsheet. I'm not going to save it. If I use it again, you won't see the thing that I said about macros, so I will delete that copy. I'm going to go and find another copy of that I can start with and use to show you that warning. I have one here. I'll copy it to my desktop. You can store this file wherever you like. I'm just putting it on my desktop because it's easy to find there. And for the benefit, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so here I have an agenda. It's all been filled in already. If you're working with an agenda that isn't complete, then obviously that's going to be reflected when you carry out this activity. What you will see is on the final agenda or on the Fill Me In page that not everything is filled in. It's logical, isn't it? The information as it appears here appears differently for me if I am the Toastmaster or if I'm not the Toastmaster. There is one way to get the information to appear the same, whoever you are, and that is to use the print option. So using this button here to print the agenda, click on that. It will whir away for a little while whilst it's sorting out how to print it. And then it will show you the print preview from the internet. And we don't actually want to print this. What we want is to use this information in that spreadsheet so that we can actually propagate the roles from this information. It's taken a little bit of time, but now it's appeared. I'm going to cancel it by clicking on cancel. And now you can see that information on your screen. Or in this case, on my screen, on your screen. I want to select all of this information. I think I can right click here, but I can't choose select all here. Using my keyboard, using the control button, CTRL, and the letter A. Hold down Control, press A, Control A selects all. I want to copy that information. I could do a right click and choose copy. I've actually unselected it, so I'm going to Control A again to select all. And then Control C on my keyboard. And that copies the information to the computer's memory. You can't see it do anything, but trust me, when you use Control C, it's gone into the computer's memory. If you discover later that didn't work, come back here and try it again. Now I launch the Excel spreadsheet. I just double click on the file and it will open that file in Excel. Again, it's taking a little bit more time on my computer because I'm actually recording what's happening. So we'll just wait for that to open. What I expect to happen when this starts to open is it will prompt me to ask me if it's okay to use the macros that are in the spreadsheet. And here you can see that it comes up as a security warning because some macros can contain viruses. I can assure you this does not contain any viruses. All of the code that's in this has been written by myself, so I'm absolutely certain of that. In order for the macros to run, we have to enable the content. If we do not, the macros will not run, and when you click on the buttons, nothing will happen. So I click on Enable Content. If you want to read this, it tells you what I've already told you. It tells you to go to the website, print the agenda, cancel the print, select all of the information, copy it to the computer's memory, and then use these buttons to fill out this spreadsheet. If you've done this before and you've saved a spreadsheet with information on, you can use this button to clear this sheet, start again. I haven't got any information on here, so I can't show you that. But I will just click on the button to show you it working. As you can see, it did nothing as I expected because there was nothing there. But I have copied the agenda and I've copied the apologies because they're on that sheet as well, on that page. So I want to paste it into here. Here it comes. If it doesn't look like this, I don't know what's happened, and I suggest you try again or use a different web browser if you have one installed. But as you can see, this looks very similar to the agenda that we've just seen. And at the bottom, we've got the apologies from people who couldn't make the meeting. It is worth saying that sometimes the meeting notes contain apologies and other things. So just be conscious of that when you're filling in the agenda, that there may be things that you need to remove from apologies because people are actually coming to the meeting. Now we have the information here, we want to put it on the agenda. Click on the Auto Fill the Agenda button. Now me being sensible, I've actually got it to ask you the question, have you pasted the data onto this worksheet? I have, you can see what I've done, so I'm going to click on Yes. But if you hadn't, and you'd pressed the button accidentally, you could click on No and it will stop there. So it's filled in the next worksheet that's called Fill Me In. You can see the name down here. You can check the details here. If you want to, you can compare them to what's on the website. Or you can just make sure that all of these cells, as they're called, have got values in them, have got something in them. You can have a look at the Print Me screen and just see what's on that screen, and it will show you everything. You don't have to do this, of course, but when you're ready, from the Fill Me In worksheet that it put me on a second ago, just choose to print the agenda button by clicking on it. You'll get a preview of the agenda. If you wish to zoom in, just hover over it with your mouse. You'll see a magnifying glass and click. And you can actually see all the details there. When you're ready to print, click on the Print button. A print dialog will appear. Remember, you've got to print enough copies for whoever's going to be at the meeting. You might have to estimate this. Currently, we're seeing around 20 people, so I'm going to put in 20. And when I'm ready, I will click on OK to send that to my printer. And that will be sent to my printer, and my printer will churn those pages out. On this particular occasion, because I don't want to print out 20 copies of this, I will click on Cancel. But the macro and what's happening behind the scenes will carry on working in the same way. What happens next is it asks you to think about the next step. We're going to print copies for the Toastmaster and Timekeeper, and these look slightly different because these two roles need to have much better tracing ability of time. The Toastmaster needs to know what time things are supposed to happen, so they can make sure that the meeting is actually running to time. And the Timekeeper just needs as much information as they can get about times of things happening. As you can see, this says that you need at least 2 of these copies. Why? Well, one for the Toastmaster and one for the Timekeeper, that's your 2. It's fairly straightforward. If you need more copies, it's no problem, you can print more copies. Again, click on the print button and change the number of copies that you want. If it's 2, type in 2. If it's more, type in a bigger number. When you're ready, click on OK and it will print it. Again, I'll choose Cancel because I don't really want to print this. That is it. When you've finished, you don't need to save this file. You can close it without saving. As you can see, it's very quick to carry this out. Once you've actually got the idea of what's happening, you simply go to the website, choose to print the agenda, cancel it. Control-A to select all, Control-C to copy it, open the spreadsheet, use the buttons to fill the spreadsheet in, and that only takes a few seconds to do each. I can show you that again. Clear the worksheet, paste the details that I've copied, auto-fill the agenda, say yes to this, print the agenda, just have a skim through that, make sure it looks okay. Click on print, choose the number of copies, hit OK when you're ready. Next, 2 more copies, no problem. See the preview, check it if you like, click on print, number of copies, hit OK when you're ready. It's that straightforward. This should revolutionize the way that we use this template, which currently takes much more time to fill out. I hope that's helped you, but if you've got any feedback or tips that you'd like to give me, just let me know. My name's Darren Walton, and it's been fun.